Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Carnage, and we're going to be talking about the Champions League final, Dortmund versus Real Madrid. Tomorrow is the big day. This is what we've all been waiting for the entire season. I mean, well, obviously, not everybody, right? Because if it's not your team that's playing in the final, then you're not waiting for this day in particular. But point is, whether you support Madrid, whether you support Dortmund, all football fans across the globe will be tuned into this game in London, and it's going to be crazy, guys. And I got a preview live stream that we're going to be doing for you guys today. Going to be talking about, some team news, looking at the expected starting 11s, and giving my score prediction at the end, because I do have the script for how the game's going to go. So you guys definitely do want to stick around for that. Yo, if you guys happen to click this video while I'm live, definitely make sure to smash that like button and get in the live chat. Give me your score predictions. Let me know which players you are ready to see. Who do you think is going to be the man of the match? I mean, who are you expecting to have a big game? Because there's players on both teams that are very exciting that I personally like. But, obviously, with me being a Real Madrid fan, during this preview, we're going to be talking about Dortmund. But, there's going to be some more emphasis on Madrid just because, that's who I watch week in, week out. I don't watch Dortmund week in, week out, but I do have a good understanding of that squad and how it works. So, yeah, people, let's just get straight into it, right? Now, the first thing that I want to do is talk about the journey, right? Because both these teams are underdogs, right? I mean, let's be honest. Madrid were not given a chance to make the final. They had, when we got to the round of 8, when they played Man City, they only gave Real Madrid a 36% chance of advancing. That was the lowest out of every single team that was left. And the season that we've had so far, it's been really good. I mean, look, Spanish Super Cup, won La Liga, had all these injuries that we had to overcome, not having a true striker, having to play Jude as a 10/false 9. He's been cooking. Vinny's found his form. We look good. And we're going to be heading into this game after beating Leipzig in the round of 16, beat Man City in the quarterfinals, and then you knock out Bayern Munich in the semis. Now, when we played against Leipzig, those two legs were not good. I'm not going to lie. After we knocked them out, I think it was, 2-1 on aggregate, I wasn't feeling too confident when we drew Man City because we know that that's a run. That's a well-oiled machine, right? Pep has those players. They arguably play the best football, and they have a squad that most people would argue is the best in the world. And considering what they did to us last season, I just really wasn't impressed. Our form in the league kind of dipped a little bit against Leipzig. They had their chances. And if we're being honest, if Leipzig were more critical, or more clinical, I should say, in front of goal, they would have beaten us. They would have. But they couldn't score to save their life. And we ended up stinking out a win. Then we draw Man City. This is the big game. I wanted revenge. Last season, beating us 4-0 at the Etihad, getting slapped up, getting knocked out. It was an embarrassing performance. I was telling people I felt like we were going to do it this year. Well, against Man City, right? Let me not speak too far ahead until I get to my predictions. But that game, the first leg at the Bernabeu, was back and forth. And then when we got to the Etihad, we had to set up a little differently, right? It's a place that we've never won before. You're going against Man City, Pep Guardiola. You know that they're going to want to play attacking football. They're going to dominate possession, right? It's one of the few teams in the world that when you're playing against them, you know that you're not going to be able to play your style of football because Pep is going to implement his tactics no matter who he's going against. Sometimes he does overthink things, but I thought Carlo Ancelotti outclassed him. The game plan worked perfectly. We sat back. We scored the first goal. Rodrigo again. He always turns up against Man City. I don't know what it is. This guy loves playing against Manchester City. That just seems when he finds his level. Come on, Rodrigo is an absolute monster. And yeah, he showed it against Man City in that first leg. We got the first goal early. I think 13th, 14th minute. And then we kind of just set up shop, and we were just defending, holding on for dear life. And City outplayed us that day. Kevin De Bruyne got a goal, tied it up, but it went to penalties. We ended up winning. Lunin had a massive game as well. That was crazy. I mean, the way that he made a few of those penalty saves, the way that Lunin, I mean, this guy just the entire season has been fantastic. He has been somebody that if he wasn't in goal for us, if it was Kepa, I'm not too sure if we're in this Champions League final against Dortmund. Massive performance from him all season. And that Man City game, I think, is what really put him on the map. Because let's be honest, most people do not watch Real Madrid play week in, week out. People are not watching La Liga like that. Everybody's watching the Premier League. So if you only watch Champions League, then you may be thinking, oh, well, who is Lunin and how good is he, etc. But if you've been watching him this entire season after he won the starting spot from Kepa, then you would have known that his performances have been fantastic. And then we end up going through against Man City. Nobody gave us a chance, and now we're playing Bayern Munich, right? Vinicius tears them up in that first leg. Feeling pretty confident. We draw 2-2 at Allianz. Now we're going back to the Bernabeu. I'm like, yo, second leg at home should be a comfy game. Bro, Vinny was causing problems in that second leg, right? He made Joshua Kimmich look like a bum, was cooking him for 90-plus minutes. I swear, Joshua Kimmich might have retired after that game because the way that Vinny was on him was crazy. Like, every time Vinny got the ball, he was just going past Kimmich. It's like Kimmich wasn't even there. And even though he was doing all that, we still weren't able to put the ball into the back of the net. And then Alphonso Davies, a player that we've been linked with for a move this summer, comes on because Serge Gnabry gets injured, scores an absolute banger. 1-0. Now it looks like we're going to lose, right? Because time's running down. Alphonso Davies just cooked Rudiger, scored an absolute banger of a goal. And now I'm like, oh my goodness. You guys remember if you were watching that game with me. And then we make a substitution. Joselu, 92nd, 94th minute or something like that. This guy goes on to score a brace in like 8 minutes. Gives us the dub. We advance. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I know that we are the favorites in this match. But as I said, this is an underdog final because nobody really, outside of Madrid fans, nobody really gave us a chance to make it here. But hold on. I know. You see me? I'm back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back now. Like, what the hell was that? Bro? All right, we should be good now, man. We should be good. Now, I was talking about Madrid, right? And I did definitely want to move on to, yeah, okay. Threw me off for a second. Yeah, I do want to move on to Dortmund, but I see you guys in the chat. Definitely make sure to smash that like button for me, guys. I apologize about that. It's just, bro, my connection sometimes is so trash, but it is what it is. Hopefully, we are good now. Let's see. Fire hoodie, appreciate that, bro. Want revenge as Dortmund knocked us out from the UCL, like 4-1 with Lewandowski. Yeah, but that was years ago, man. Damn, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, bro. What's going on, man? What's going on? Shout out to Liquidify as well, my guy. Sam, as always. Yo, what's up? What does a club do? Hold on, my fault. Okay. Yeah, what does a dub do for Vinny's legacy? He came from Benzema yelling at him to possibly Ballon d'Or. I mean, look, I've talked about Vinny multiple times and how this guy has come so far, bro. A dub for Vinicius, bro. He's already on his way to legendary status at Madrid, and he's only 23 years old, bro. Imagine him in 7 years. Imagine what he's going to accomplish in the next 10 years at Madrid. I mean, a dub tomorrow gives him the Ballon d'Or, especially if he's the one that, bags a few goals. Like, that's what it does for him. Like, this game is a huge game for Vinny. But I don't think I'm lagging though anymore, right? It's Boohoo Man, bro. Boohoo Man. They have an app. I'm sure they have a website as well. Just search up Boohoo Man, and you should be able to see. I don't know if they still have the hoodie. I got this a while ago, but all right. Sorry for the connection issue, guys. Let's talk about Dortmund though, right? Now they beat PSV. Ended up beating Atletico, and then they beat PSG in the semifinals as well. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm happy that Dortmund made it this far because out of all the teams that were left, we have to be honest in saying that Dortmund were the easier side, right? I mean, I'd be lying if I said that they weren't. So I think they've played really well, but this season they've been poor. 5th in the Bundesliga. No other trophies, and PSG should have went through. Let's be honest. They hit the post 7 times throughout the 2 legs. Is that down to Dortmund, or is that down to the post as being the 12th man out there? So I think in all cup runs, right? Yes, there is a bit of luck that gets factored in. But I got to give them, they have to get some credit for being here. But I mean, come on now. I think against Atletico, they deserve that dub, right? And I predicted Atleti to win. I was glad that they knocked them out because Atletico Madrid are just annoying as hell. I don't know if you guys watch them play, but they're just so damn pessimistic. They're like a fly or like a mosquito that's just by your ear, just buzzing, and you can't swap it away, and it keeps coming back. But yeah, I mean, against PSG, like the post was hit 7 times, and Mbappe didn't really turn up. Ousmane Dembele ghosted as well. And that performance though by Sancho in that first leg was ridiculous. I mean, the way that this guy was cooking, I can't believe this is the same player that at Man United he couldn't get any game time. I mean, it's just ridiculous when you think about it. But as I said, both teams, their journeys here, nobody gave them a chance. Now we are here, and the fact that for us, it's number 15 that we're fighting for. And then for Dortmund, I'm not really too sure how many Champions League they have. But I definitely do have to give us the advantage. I mean, you'd be lying to yourself if you didn't say that Dortmund are significantly weaker compared to some of the other elite clubs that are around Europe that you could have possibly gotten in this game. But yeah, man, look, I do want to talk about the traveling squads though, right? We have both of them for each team. So here's Madrid. Here's all the players that were going. The goalkeepers, Courtois, Lunin, Kepa, and Fran. Lunin was a bit surprising because I swear I saw reports that he was sick and that he wasn't going to be able to travel with the team because they didn't want to risk him spreading whatever he had. But I guess he's fine, obviously, if he's with the team. Kepa, look, he's going to be in London on Saturday. He's going back to Chelsea. They're also in London. He might not even travel back to Spain with the team. You might as well just leave him there because we're not extending him. In defense, got Carvajal, Militao, Alaba, Nacho, Lucas Vasquez, Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Ferland Mendy, right? And then in midfield, Jude, Cruz, Modric, Camavinga, Valverde, Tchouameni, Ceballos, Arda Güler, and Mario Martin. In the forwards, you got Vinny, Rodrigo, Joselu, and Brahim. Now, two names that are not with the squad that are pretty significant. Obviously, David Alaba is still out, right? The guy's been out since like December, basically missed this entire season, or you could say like 60 or 70% of the season. He's not healthy. And then Tchouameni, who people speculated earlier on was going to be fit for this game, is not traveling with the side. So he is going to, well, it's not Tchouameni's there, actually. What am I talking about? I just read his name. Wait, so is this injury? Okay, well, it's conflicting reports, people. We're going to see if he plays or not. We're going to see if he starts. I mean, if he's traveling, I definitely do expect him to be on the bench then. But see, it's like these reporters don't know what they're talking about. Like, you take them for their word, and then you got guys that are there. Like, Tchouameni they said that he wasn't going to be playing, that he wasn't going to be able to get fit in enough time. But oh, Mandrew says Dortmund 2-1. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit, bro. But yeah. No, let me know your score predictions, people, and definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you have not done so already. Yeah, like they said Tchouameni wasn't going to be there. And then I just read he's here. But when I looked at the injury report, he's listed as being injured. So which one is it? Sam says, how do you see this game going? I personally see Madrid scoring late in the first half and winning like 3-1. Yo, Sam, I'm gonna get to that, bro. I probably only got maybe like 20 minutes left because we are gonna be doing a watch along the Saudi King Cup, Al Hilal versus Al Nazar, which is in about an hour. So yeah, we will talk about that very soon. I don't want to get into it too early, but yeah, pretty healthy squad. So if Tchouameni's traveling, then the only one that's really out is just David Alaba. They definitely did lie to us, though, because I swear I saw that Tchouameni was not going to be here for this game, but it's whatever. Now, looking at Dortmund, first off, this graphic is clean as hell. I'm not going to lie, but they have their full squad. Like, Dortmund are healthy. When I looked at who they have out, right, you got some guy named Kamara, Julian Duranville, and Mori. Players that were not going to see the field anyways. All their guys that they need out there are fit for this game. So now what I want to do is head over to the expected starting 11s. Now, Madrid have been doing this diamond formation all season, right? The 4-1-2-1-2, right? So in goal, Courtois is expected to start. Then Danny Carvajal, Nacho, Rudiger, Mendy, back line. The four midfielders, you got Camavinga in that 6. You got Toni Kroos as a left midfielder, and then you got Fede Valverde on the right. You got Jude down the middle as that 10/false 9 role, and then you got Vinny and Rodrigo up front. Now, this is a very fluid system, though, right? Because even though it starts out in this 4-1-2-1-2, you always see Vinny and Rodrigo spread out, right? Like, they're never just primarily playing centrally. They do end up getting on the wing, and then you see Jude further up the pitch as if he's playing in that striker role. So in theory, how it works is technically it is a 4-3-3, but we just start off this way for some reason. And the two notable things, right? Obviously, everybody expects Camavinga to play. If Tchouameni was fit, if he wasn't dealing with an injury, then he would be starting tomorrow. But Camavinga is more than capable to do his job. I mean, like, this guy is a very good player. I think Camavinga is super underrated, and he does deserve to start. I think he's good enough to start for most teams in the world, but it's just like the competition right now is just so much. And Tchouameni, you'd have to say, maybe is a better DM than him. But the second one that I want to call out is Courtois, right? To me, I always felt like Lunin should have started this game, only because if it wasn't for Lunin's performances, we wouldn't be here right now. This season, Lunin has been one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, period. He was cooking. Look at that performance against Man City. Look at what he's done in the league. week in, week out, making big saves, big 1v1s. But it's like as soon as Courtois was fit and able to play, we've just put him right back in the lineup. And I mean, I can't really argue with it because Courtois is a better keeper than Lunin. And since he has been back from injury, this guy's been fantastic. He hasn't missed a beat. Did you guys see that game against Alaves a few weeks ago? They put in about 7 or 8 shots. Yo, Courtois was active that game, making great saves. He doesn't look like he's missed most of this season. He looks like he's been playing. So I understand why, but I just kind of felt like it was a slap in the face to Lunin, and I would have still felt confident if Lunin was in goal starting. But yeah, this is how I expect us to line up, right? And it's 4-1-2-1-2. And, you know, I expect Vinny and Rodrigo, as always, to kind of be interchangeable. You know, sometimes you're going to see Rodrigo on that left wing. Sometimes you may see Vinny. Same thing on the right. And I think that's what makes us so hard. And then, you know, you're going to have Jude, who's going to crash the box late. He's going to be in there. And I expect him to have a big game as well. Tony Cruz, his last match for us, right? Champions League final. It gets no bigger than this. Like, you have to win. I think it'd be inexcusable if we don't go out there and get the dub. But hold on. Yeah, but looking at Dortmund's lineup, and my fault, bro. I'm just like all scrambled, bro. Like my connection going out just messed up my brain. Ah, man. Let's see. So Razat says, kind of see it following the trend of 1-0 or maybe 2-1. Final is more tight. They aren't usually many goals. Well, that's true. You know, most people, they're definitely not trying to make mistakes. And people aren't really trying to take that many risks because you don't want to be the reason that your team loses. So I can definitely kind of see it going like that. But we're going to talk about the game script in a little bit, people. Razat also says, do you think Lunin or Courtois will start in goal? Courtois. And I think Carlo already confirmed that. He's already said that Courtois will be in goal. So that's not even a speculation anymore. Lunin will not be starting. Are you worried of Carvajal versus Adeyemi? He is fast. Yeah, that's true. I think that can be an issue, right? I think it just depends on how we approach the game. Because one thing that Carlo Ancelotti definitely does is adapt his game style, right? Like we don't play the same way the entire match. Or we don't play the same way every single game. And Dortmund, they do have some very dangerous pieces, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, that could be an issue. Like Adeyemi is rapid, right? And then you're also going to have Ryerson, who's going to overlap him as well. So, you know, I think if we can control possession, then that will help us. But we just have to be careful on the counter because I do think that we will dominate the play of game. But it's just Danny Carvajal has to stay disciplined. And he is good defensively. He is good going forward as well. He is a complete right back. And I would trust his experience. And I feel like he should know what to do because he's played against different players that have also similar skill sets to what Adeyemi does. And he's done a pretty good job. So it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But it definitely is somebody to keep your eye on. So, yeah, he says, though Carvajal can deal with pace merchants like Doku. It's true. But Doku plays on that left wing, though, right? Adeyemi is most likely going to be on the right. So it's a little bit different. But I get what you mean, unless I kind of worded that wrong. But it is what it is. Camavinga is better as a destroyer. Tchouaméni is better with the ball. I mean, I just think that Tchouaméni is just better overall, just in general. Michael, what's going on, bro? So, yeah, guys, look. Dortmund are going to more than likely line up in their 4-2-3-1 full-strength squad. They don't have anybody that's out, right? Like, this is their strongest team that they can put out there. Maybe you can say, oh, what about Rafael Guerrera? Or is he traveling, though? I definitely did just have the starting, their traveling squad. 1 second. Let's put that back up on screen. Yeah, I'm everywhere right now. That's so annoying. Did Guerrera travel? Let me see. No, he didn't. Does Guerrero even play with them? I feel like I kind of like want to redo this. I'm not gonna lie, but it's okay. It is a-okay, bro. We don't have to redo this, man. It's whatever. Anyways, Dortmund, they're gonna be in a 4-2-3-1, right? The players that I'm really looking at, Matt Hummels had a huge performance against PSG. I want to know if that was a fluke. Did this man turn back the clock or what? I assume he will be up for this game. Slaughterback as well. That partnership, they're very physical, they're very big, and I think they maybe can cause issues for Vinny, Jude, and Rodrigo. I think maybe Jude can handle them a little bit better because of his physical presence. But it'll be interesting to see what Vinny and Rodrigo do because they are very physical. Now, where I see a point of weakness for Dortmund, right? And maybe I should talk about that in a second, but I like Ian Matson as well. I like Sancho, Sabitzer, Julian Branson is a decent player, Adeyemi, and then Fulkrug, right? I mean, I was not too familiar with this guy's game. He surprised me. When I saw him score that goal versus PSG, I was like, holy shit. Bro, I'd be lying if I told you that I knew who the hell this Fulkrug guy was at the start of this season. But he looks like a really good striker. He's big, he's physical, he has a good first touch. He could really hit a ball as well, man. And he is somebody that, in theory, Rudiger should handle him, right? Like if Rudiger was able to pocket Erling Haaland against Man City, then he should definitely be able to pocket Fulkrug. But I just don't think that we should be taking it for granted or underestimating this team. Now, I don't know if this is too small for you guys, but this is in theory how it would look, right? Like on the pitch. And the area that I'm looking at where I feel like we can really hurt Dortmund is you have to attack Ian Matson. You have to, right? I like Ian Matson. I think he's a good player, but he's one of these modern fullbacks where their main skill set, what makes them good, the reason that we rate them is for what they can offer you going forward, not because they defend well. And with him wanting to get up the pitch, him wanting to get on the ball so much, there's going to be gaps on that left side of their defense. So I'm expecting, if Rodrigo is primarily going to be on the right wing, I'm expecting him to have a big game. You cannot tell me in 1v1 situations Ian Matson can defend him. No, Rodrigo needs to be cooking him. Also, Vinny as well on that left wing. It doesn't matter where Vinny's at. Left wing, centrally, right wing. I expect him to give whoever the hell is trying to guard him problems. And the issue that Dortmund are going to have is you're going to more than likely have to double up on Vinny because Ryerson is going to need help. So then are you going to draw Matt Hummels to kind of pay more attention to him? Because then if you do, now that opens up the field for Jude to make forward runs, for Rodrigo, who's going to be in a lot of 1v1 situations. But that left side of Dortmund's defense, that is where I think we are going to hurt them. Matson's going to need a lot of help. He's going to need Sancho to track back. Like, he's going to need players to be there with him. But I'm expecting a big game, though, from Rodrigo. Very underrated player. It's a lot of news going on about him and his future. And I think, he is a player that is important for Real Madrid. I know some people think that we should be selling him. I think that's idiotic, bro. No, you do not go out there and sell a player of Rodrigo's level. The only reason that he struggled this season is because we've been in this 4-4-2, basically, right? And it really only benefits Jude. Even Vinny struggled earlier at the start of this. Comes in as well. We're going to go back to a 4-3-3, and things are going to spread out. So I think Rodrigo is going to get back to his best, and I'm expecting a big game from him tomorrow. But, yo, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Let's get into some of your comments. The people, definitely make sure to smash that like button. Again, I apologize earlier for my connection going out, bro. That just threw me off. I kind of felt like, I don't know, like whenever something goes wrong when you're just rambling, it's like, damn, it messes up your whole train of thought, and then you come back all frazzled. But it is what it is. Let's see. Huh. Hey, what's going on, bro? Zir, first time I'm seeing you here. Big up Football Carnage GG against us in semifinals. Yeah, look, man, respect, bro. I hope you beat Dortmund because I absolutely hate watching them. All right, fair enough. Guerrero's at Bayern now. Oh my god, bro. I had a nightmare with that one, right? Jeez. Yeah. I'm wilding. Oh my goodness. I knew of Fulkrug since World Cup 2022. Yeah, I must have not been paying attention, bro. I was not too familiar with his game. Yeah, bro. It's crazy. Vinny will need to cook Ryerson. That guy is not that good. Yeah, that's true. But I think Ryerson is better defensively than Ian Matson. Like, that's why I'm more so calling out Matson. Rodrigo usually gets a free roll, and Valverde goes on the right, Vinny left, Jude is in the 10. I mean, that is true. Sometimes like you do see, so the way that the graphic looked, right? It has them like a compact diamond, but usually Valverde is kind of wide, but it's just so fluid because again, sometimes like I'll see Rodrigo picking up the ball from that left wing a lot. And I'm thinking, well, isn't he supposed to be on the right? But then you'll see Vinny then on the right. And then it's like you're just watching the game flow. And the next time we get back on the ball, then Vinny's picking it up on the left. And then Rodrigo's on the right. And I'm like, it's like, when are they even making these changes? Like, it just happens. It's like so fluid. It's like that's going to cause the defense issues. Because if you're trying to double up on Vinny, if he's on the left one side, then on the right the next side, how are you going to do that? It's going to make it very confusing because now you're going to have all these different players running at you. And I expect Dortmund to be defending for most of this match. So they can't switch off. I don't know, bro. Look, how Carlo has a team set up, I'm sure that he just lets them do what they want. I think the reason why Vinny and Rodrigo are able to switch side to side and why it's so fluid is because of their chemistry that they have together. Let's see. Rodrigo will stay. Trust me. I love Rodrigo. He turns up when it matters. Bro, he's a big game player for sure. No way, Rodrigo. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, look, if there's one team in the world that I think could attract him right now, it would be Man City. But they have a bunch of wingers already. They don't need Rodrigo, right? They just signed Savio from Girona. They got Jeremy Doku, Jack Grealish, Phil Foden. Like, I doubt that they're going to go out there and try and buy Rodrigo because, one, I don't think that we're going to sell him. Two, he's just signed an extension with us with like a billion euro release clause. And I mean, if you want Rodrigo, all right, the bidding starts at 130 million. That's how I feel about it. Like, if he goes, if he would want to leave, I doubt it, but if he would want to leave, then yeah, you can leave for about 150, 160 M's. I'll be happy with that. I think Cruz and Valverde will be massive. Of course, look, Cruz last game, definitely not happy with him retiring, right? I mean, this guy's performances all season have been fantastic. He's been cooking. The guy is still world class, and he decided to go out while he's still in top form. I mean, this guy is in contention to possibly win the Ballon d'Or. So all the reports were indicating that Modric was going to leave and Cruz was going to stay. And then everything's kind of flipped. Now Modric is staying and Cruz is leaving after the Euros. He's going to retire. So I expect him to have a big game. He's going to be going against a German team as well. He's going to be motivated, bro. I mean, this is the best way to go out. It's either winning a World Cup, a Champions League, or a Euros. And he has a chance. Well, no. Yeah, I'll say he has a chance, right? All right, because we'll talk about this in a little bit. But he has a chance to end his Real Madrid career lifting a Champions League. He's already a legend at the club. He's one of the greatest players that I've ever seen, especially in midfield. It's like you can't replace him. There's no way for Madrid to go out there and find somebody else that can replicate what Toni Kroos can do. So we're definitely going to miss him next season. But I think we will be fine regardless next season because of how much squad depth we have in that midfield. And if you want to look at it from a positive note, it will open up more playing opportunities for Brahim, for Arda Güler, who I definitely want to see. And I know that we're being linked next summer to a move for Florian Wirtz. I prefer Jamal Musiala. Like, I think he's better than Wirtz, in my opinion. But, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. But Valverde, this guy is super underrated, one of the best midfielders in the world. But because he does not bag a bunch of goals and assists, people don't talk about him like they should. People don't really put the respect on his name that is deserved. This guy is arguably the heart and soul of this team. He is a workhorse. He's an absolute monster in midfield. He's everywhere. He's everywhere. This guy has basically, I think he's played every game this season except for one. Like, super underrated. And to me, he's the future captain of this team. And what he does for this side, it doesn't get replicated by stats, right? Like when you're seeing him track back, when you're seeing him being able to pick up the ball and carry it forward as well. He has no weaknesses. Let's be honest. The season before, he scored 14 goals? But because Jude is here now and he's playing more forward and because the system has changed, Valverde, the goals and assists, it has fell off this season. but he's still everywhere. He's still putting in 10 out of 10 performances, the slide tackles, the pressing. And then when you do need a goal, he pops up. Look at that goal against Man City at the Bernabeu, the volley. Come on now. Yo, Valverde's an absolute monster, bro. Super underrated. I feel like nobody really talks about him. And what else did I want to call out with the starting 11? I'm drawing a blank here, people. Nacho. Yes, Nacho. I had the mindset that I did not want to see Nacho start this game. I wanted Militao to be in that back line with Rudiger. But after that Villarreal match, oh my goodness. Sorloth was hooking Militao. 4 goals. Are you mad? There was no way. After that game, I already knew he wasn't going to start this Champions League final because he was getting battered. And I don't really rate Nacho, right? And this could possibly be his last game for us as well. But I understand why he's going to go in there. But to me, I mean, Militao is healthy, right? But yeah, that Villarreal game, I think that was just to test him out to see if he's, good enough to, be back in the starting lineup. Definitely not. Definitely not, bro. It's crazy. So even Brahim Diaz is going to cook Ryerson in the match, hopefully. Yeah, that's true. Rodrigo could be Bernardo Silva's replacement. Nah. Look, similar to how you can't really replace Toni Kroos, I think if Bernardo Silva leaves Man City, they're not going to be able to replace him, bro. Bernardo Silva, one, he is better than Rodrigo. Let's just be objective here, right? And he could also play in midfield, right? Rodrigo is just going to be on the wings, and maybe you could play him down the middle, but he's better on the wings. He doesn't drop into midfield. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but we haven't really seen it. Bernardo Silva is at center mid. You can play him as a 10. You can play him on the left, the right, and he's putting in 10 out of 10 performances. I don't really think City can replace Bernardo Silva, right? Maybe Phil Foden is very similar in terms of the position that he could play and the similar skill sets, but nah, I can't see Rodrigo going to Man City, at least not right now. I would rather sell Rodrigo to Arsenal than that oil club. I mean, he's better than Saka. And he can start on that left because he's also better than Martinelli. So, yeah, I mean, that would be an excellent signing for Arsenal if they were able to do it, but they're not going to be spending that much money on a winger this summer when they need a striker and a midfielder. Let's see. No more like 150 or 200. Okay. Please stay away from Musiala. I'm trying to... Yeah, man, you're a Bayern fan, bro. Look, Musiala's a baller. If it's between Musiala or Wirtz, now, I think they're very similar players, right? They have similar skill sets. And maybe it's because I've watched more of Musiala than I have Wirtz. But every time I've watched Bayer Leverkusen play this season, the few games, I wasn't really impressed. Like, that Europa League final, where was he? What did he do? He ghosted. Musiala, to me, I just seen more of him, and I think he is going to be the best attacking midfield player, especially for his age group in the future. Like, to me, he is the best. And the issue that we have at Madrid in midfield is, yes, it's stacked. We have a very stacked midfield, but we don't have we don't have just a creative midfielder, right? I know Jude plays as that 10, and people try to make it seem like that's his position and that he's a 10 or a false 9. No, Jude is a box-to-box 8, right? Like, let's just have it right. That's where he's going to be next season when we get a striker in. We didn't buy him from Dortmund to be a 10 or to be a 9. We bought him to be an 8 because that is what made him one of the best players in Europe. Now, he's done a great job playing up front, but yeah, no, that all ends. His goals are going to drop as well next season once Mbappe and Endrick are on the side. So, and people are going to say, oh, well, he's flopping now because he's not scoring or he's a one-season winner. No, people that say that they just don't know ball, bro. It's just he's now gone back to playing his regular position. So with me saying that we don't really have a creative midfielder, I'm talking about we don't have one that starts week in, week out. Yes, you have Arda, right? Young player who is a creative midfielder. Same thing for Brahim Diaz. He can play in that 10 role and create as well. But these guys aren't starting week in, week out, right? I think Arda can possibly do that in a few seasons. But Brahim, I think his fate at Real Madrid will always be a squad player, even though he does deserve more minutes. He does play really well every time he gets the opportunity. But when I'm thinking of players that can start and be that creative outlet, I would love for it to be Jamal Musiala. But we don't need to be thinking about midfielders right now. That's just me being a bit greedy. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It seems like Valverde's yeah, bro. He never gets he's always running and he's always fit. Hope Portugal goes far this Euro. Yeah, I mean the Euros are gonna be interesting. I think, in my opinion, I think Portugal have the third best chance of winning it. I've said it multiple times. I got France, Germany, and then Portugal. It's going to be one of those three that win the Euros for sure. Portuguese players have great energy. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. To be honest, to replace Cruz's passing ability, you would do better with the words. But Musiala is still an amazing baller that can suit Madrid. My issue with Musiala is he needs to be a killer in front of goal. That's true. I have seen some people kind of, talk about how he's not that clinical in front of goal. And, maybe he is more of a player that likes to create than tries to, take his chances. But maybe he can add that to his game. But Musiala is only 23 years old. No, he's not that old. He's like 21. So he can still develop. And I think that he will. I'm telling you, I think Musiala will go right to the top as being one of the best players in the world. And he's already in that conversation for his position. But yeah, guys, look. Let's get into the game script, right? I have it. Now, I'm going to put this graphic up on screen, and you can let me know what you think, if I'm crazy or not. But I have this game going 3-1 to Madrid. Now, let me walk you guys through this script. Let me tell you how this is going to go, all right? Just hear me out. I think Madrid going to start off slow, right? We usually do. Don't ask me why. I don't know why these players usually start matches slow. But that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I think Dortmund are going to come out. They're going to look like the better side the first 30, 35 minutes. And I think Dortmund may score the first goal. Would not surprise me. But I think we go into halftime 1-1, right? Now, I'd like to see Sancho score if it did have to be any Dortmund player, right? That would be my prediction. I'm going to either say Sancho or Fulkrug, right? And after they've started off so hot, I think they get the first goal. But I think either Vinny or Jude. I think both of them score tomorrow, by the way. I mean, look, the script is perfect. Like, Jude playing his first Champions League final for Real Madrid in England. Like, he's going to score, right? I think Vinny's going to have the better game. For me, I think Vinny will be my man of the match. I think Vinny's going to bag 2 goals. But, yeah, and I think Jude gets another, right? I think the second half, we're going to just be on them. We're going to be on them. Like, that's how it always goes for us. I don't know why. But I think the second half, we're going to be more progressive. We're going to be on the ball a lot more than what the first half is. And, again, I just think Vinicius, the best attacking player in the world. I mean, if he can make Joshua Kimmich look like a bum, then imagine what he can do to Ryerson. Or imagine if he gets the ball on that right wing, what he can do to Ian Maatsen. It's going to be bad. I'm telling you. And I think we're going to win 3-1. Telling you, that first half is going to be back and forth, though. And I can definitely understand people's POV where they say, oh, this could be an upset. Because Dortmund, they do have a good squad. Their defense is compact. They do have very good attacking players. Also, I didn't even talk about Marco Reus. See, like the Wi-Fi cutting off just messed up my brain so much. I didn't talk about Marco Reus. I think he's going to have, a lot of energy for this game. It's going to be his last one for Dortmund as well. And yeah, they have players that can definitely hurt us. And every time I've watched or I've done these watch-alongs and we're looking at the La Liga games and we started off really slow, I was saying, if we start off like this in that Champions League final against Dortmund, they're going to punish us. They have the quality there. We can't be slacking. We got to step it up. But again, I don't know why. Sometimes we start off really slow, and I would not be surprised if that happens tomorrow. As I said, we go into halftime 1-1 with Dortmund having had played the better first half. But after that second half, we just take control of the game. So my man of the match, I'm predicting Vinny. Maybe you guys get in the comment section and let me know who you think should be the man of the match or who you think is going to score, whatnot. But whenever there's a big game, Vinny is here. He's here, bro. World-class player. Madrid needs to get fullbacks this summer after getting Mbappe. Well, I mean, linked to Alphonso Davies, right? I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is the name as well, but I don't necessarily want Trent and Alphonso Davies. It has to be one or the other. Like that's just too much, in my opinion, to have both those guys out there. It's ridiculous. Let's see. You agree? Okay. Feel Real need another left back. Yeah, I mean, we do, even though Ferland Mendy is, I think, one of the best left backs in the world. This guy doesn't really have any weaknesses. 1-0 Madrid. Jude goal second half from outside the box. Ooh, you know what's crazy about this, though? I think whoever has the better game, that's who will possibly win the Ballon d'Or between Vinny and Jude. Like, if, let's say, Jude goes out there and scores a brace or gets 1 goal and, like, 2 assists, something like that. I don't know, because I think Vinny is the favorite for the Ballon d'Or, and I think he does deserve it over Jude. I think he is a better player than Jude. But, yeah, whoever has the better game tomorrow, that's who wins the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion, unless some kind of madness happens in the Euros. So, yeah, we'll see. This one ends 2-2 in 90 minutes, 3-2 in extra time. Oh, my gosh. I'm tired of extra time. I don't like going to extra time when it's my team playing. I don't mind it when other people's teams go to extra time and go to penalties. But when it's the side that I like, I'm like, oh, my gosh, bro, because penalties are nerve-wracking. Like, I hate watching penalties. It's not fun. I beg, take Davies. He's been flirting for you guys. Well, we're gonna get him for a cheap price. He only has 12 months left on his contract, bro. So we might sign Davies for 35 or maybe even 40 M's. So if that's the case, I would definitely take him for sure. But he's not necessarily better than Mendy. I think he gives you something different because of what he does in attack, right? He cooks. Like, everything that makes Alphonso Davies a good player is what he offers you going forward. Defensively, he's not all there. Whereas Mendy is there defensively, and he also is there, not as good as Davies going forward, but Mendy's is not a bum going forward either. So it'd be a very good left back pairing to have, right? Like those two options that you could rotate between. I mean, I would love it. I would definitely love it. But I think Bayern are going to be fine, even if they do lose Alphonso Davies, because you guys are going to probably go out there and sign Theo Hernandez, and he's maybe even better than Alphonso Davies because he's better defensively and he's good going forward. So, I don't think it'd be that much of a miss. My guy Michael says Jude madness incoming. I wouldn't be surprised, bro. I wouldn't, because this guy, the season that he's had has been ridiculous. I mean, when have we ever seen a player in their first season at a new club have one as impactful as he has? This has to be arguably one of the greatest debut seasons in football history. And the fact that it can end with the Champions League, that means that Real Madrid this season would have done a mini treble. Spanish Super Cup, La Liga, Champions League. Hello, 3. People were mad at me when I said that in one of the watch-alongs, and I'm like, yeah, this is technically a treble. Oh, you didn't win the Copa del Rey. Who cares? What is it called when you win 3 major trophies in one season? It's a treble, bro. So, yeah, that's definitely something that we will keep an eye on as well. And, yeah, last comment before we get out of here. I'm a huge fan of what he provides going forward, and I believe he would fit like a glove at Madrid. I hope Bayern sell properly. Hey, actually, real quick, Zaire, big up to you, bro. I think it's the first time that I've ever talked to you in the chat. So, I'm excited that you're, a part of the channel now. But how do you feel about Vincent Kompany getting the job? I think he's a decent manager, but the fact that he just got relegated with Burnley and then you end up getting the gig at Bayern Munich is crazy. And yeah, I mean, I'll give you like a minute or two to put a chat in to let me know if you're still here. But yeah, people, shout out to everybody that got in the chat. Shout out to everybody that smashed that like button. Make sure to share. Don't forget to subscribe, most importantly, people. And I'm going to be live in another 20 minutes. As I said earlier, we're going to be doing a Saudi game. We're going to be doing Al Nassr versus Al Hilal in the Saudi King Cup. We're going to get to watch Ronaldo. So this should be fun, people. But Zaire, you just let me know what you think about Kompany on that watch along stream, bro. If you have time to join it. But yeah, people, I'm out. All right, I was trying to wait for a chat to come in, but that's okay, bro. Number 15 is incoming, guys. Oh, wait. Okay, another chat did come in. My guy Christopher. I'm trying to put it on screen. All right, we should be good now. All right, so Christopher says, "Hey man, hope you're doing well. I couldn't catch you live for some of your videos, but I watch all your videos. Keep going, my guy. I love the content. Also, Madrid has to win tomorrow. Hey man, shout out to you, my guy. That means a lot, bro. Appreciate you, man. You know, small creator messages like that keeps you motivated, bro. But you know, hopefully, I could catch you on some more of these lives, bro. You know, it's definitely nice to have people that are in the chat that have their own opinions and we can go back and forth for sure. Let's see. Oh, you're from Saudi. Okay, all right. So then you should be there. You should be there. I mean, I'm a little sad that my guy Neymar is injured, but hey, look, we get to watch Ronaldo and I think Al Hilal. They won the league, so they are the favorites, I would assume, right? And I think Sadio Mane should be out there as well. So look, guys, as I said, I'll be live in about 20 minutes for that watch along. So I'll catch you guys in a bit, and then tomorrow we're going to be live doing a watch along for the Champions League. It's going to be crazy, people. I definitely need you guys in here. Like I said, smash that like button. Don't forget to share and subscribe. Yeah, I'm out, people. Peace.